Good morning students, I am Shomajit sir. Today I am here to deliver my lecture on topic transport in plants. This is a very important video lecture. Watch the entire video lecture to gain basics out of it. So let's start with the topic transport in plants. Position of xylem and phloem in dicotyledonous roots, stem and leaves. Before moving to a xylem and phloem, I'd like to say that vascular bundle are of two types. One is xylem, another is phloem, isn't it? The function of xylem is transport of water and mineral, and the function of phloem is translocation of food. Clear? So we know the food is synthesized where? In the leaf, due to the presence of chloroplast and presence of chlorophyll in it. So food will be transferred from leaf to stem to roots, and water will be transferred from root to stem to leaf. So in this diagram you can see the TS of root, stem and leaves are given, and the position of xylem and phloem are shown. So in the transport system, as I have already said, vascular bundle two types, xylem and phloem. So xylem also has four components. One is tracheids, next is vessel or tracheae, next is xylem parenchyma, and fourth is xylem fiber. So out of the four components of xylem, three are dead, only xylem parenchyma is living. That's why xylem is considered as a dead tissue, because three components are dead. Now phloem has four components. One is sieve tube, next is companion cell, then phloem fiber and phloem parenchyma. So out of the four components of phloem, only one is dead, that is phloem fiber, and three are living. That's why phloem is called a living tissue. Clear? So xylem is a dead tissue and phloem is a living tissue. The function of xylem, I have said, transport of water and mineral salt, and the function of phloem is translocation. The function of phloem is what? Translocation of food material, mainly in the form of sugar and amino acid. Next, where are the xylem and phloem? Clear? In the leaf you see the diagram is given. Position of xylem, phloem in the veins and all it's found. See in stem where is the location is given. Next, transport of water and mineral salt. Clear? See in this figure they have shown root, stem and leaf. Clear? So in root portion you see water is absorbed, in bottom portion you see water is absorbed from the surrounding soil by the root here, isn't it? Then it is transported by the stem by xylem vessels, then it is used up by respiration and other several activities, and then water is lost out by the process of transpiration. Clear? So water passes in the plant from root to stem to leaf. Clear? Because water is a source from where water will get, the plant will get water from where? From the soil, isn't it? Next, the transport of water and mineral salt, the uptake of water. Clear? You see the root here is there, in root here is there, and the root here is surrounded by soil molecules, isn't it? So here is given, see, water from soil absorbed into the root hair cells. Here will come that by the process of diffusion from soil particles, the water is entered into the root hair. Clear? And then cell to cell osmosis is done, and then it is transported across the xylem and passed to all parts of the plant. Next, uptake of mineral salt. You see, as I have said, plant absorb mineral salt in the form of iron. Clear? It dissolves in soil water through root hair by the process of diffusion, and then by cell to cell osmosis it is being transferred, and this process is what? Energy driven process, that is an active process. So it takes place against the concentration gradient. So a very good diagram has been given. See, all the parts are leveled from where water is getting inside to which part. Clear? Next, transport of xylem. Here three forces are used for transport of water in xylem. One is root pressure theory, one is capillary action, and one is transpiration pull. Clear? What is root pressure? A force that pushes water up by the xylem. Clear? And what is capillary action? A force that pushes water up by the narrow xylem vessels. And what is transpiration pull? A force that pulls water up by the xylem. That means what? That means in leaf, if transpiration takes place, that means what? Loss of water is being done. So transpiration is what? Loss of water in the form of vapor. So if that water is being removed or evaporated, so there is a vacuum created. So that causes a pressure, transpiration pool. Clear? The pressure is gradient in that vacuum portion of the leaf, and so that the water is coming up from the bottom to up. So see, water movement in the plants is, they have said here, see, water goes into the root cells and move across the soil by osmosis. I have said all this earlier. See, all the diagrams are given here. Understood? So from soil to the root cells, that means root here, water is transported by diffusion and then followed by cell to cell osmosis. Clear? So see, same process is given here. One in root, another in stem. Clear? So in leaf, see, bottom portion is the root one, and the top portion you see there is a stomata given. So from stomata, what happens? Loss of water takes place. If loss of water takes place, the vacuum is created. So pressure is gradient. You see, pressure is being formed. See, the arrow is shown. Bottom arrow. See, below, the arrow present below is moving upward. That means a vacuum is created. Next, you see loss of water from leaf by transpiration. Clear? So as said earlier, what is transpiration? Loss of water in the form of vapor, isn't it? So see, osmosis moves water from xylem to palisade and spongy mesophyll cells. Clear? Water evaporates from the mesophyll cells into the intercellular spaces. Water diffuses from intercellular spaces through stomata. Next, see, transpiration pool in plants. Clear? So what are the importance of transpiration? Transpiration pool, which is a main factor in lifting and sustaining the flow of water and mineral salts from the roots up to the rest of the part of the plant. Clear? Now what is translocation? See, the movement of sugar and amino acid via phloem is called translocation. Clear? So translocation is performed by phloem, and phloem function is what? Transport of, or translocation. For phloem we'll use the word translocation of food. That means what? In the form of sugar and amino acid. So see, diagram is given. So all the paths are labeled, you can see. Clear? So mostly in fruits, the storage organ is stored in the form of sugar. Clear? And in roots it is stored in the form of starch. You can see the diagram. Now what are the factors that increases transpiration? If there are more number of leaves, then more transpiration will be there. If there are more number of stomata, then more evaporation will take place, isn't it? If there are more cuticle, then slower the rate of evaporation and transpiration. If light is more, then stomata will be open and more transpiration will be there. If there is a higher temperature, then faster the evaporation and transpiration will take place. If relative humidity is high, then it slowers the rate of transpiration. If air movement is high, so it enhances the rate of transpiration. Clear? If water available is more, isn't there? Little water in plant closes the stomata and reduces water loss. So if there is a less water, it reduces the transpiration. If there is more water, it increases the rate of transpiration. Now see, transpiration is affected by various factors. One is weather conditions. Next column there is a rate of transpiration, and next column Y. Clear? If there is a humidity, it speeds up transpiration. If there is a humid condition, it slows down transpiration. Clear? If there is a warm condition, then it speeds up transpiration. If there is a more light, there speeds up transpiration. Clear? So windy, if there is a wind, why it speeds up transpiration? You see, most air around the leaf blown away, isn't it? So these are the reasons. You read it. Clear? Now the factors affecting the rate of transpiration. So one more phenomenon is wilting. Clear? What is wilting? Wilting is the shrinkage of cytoplasm. Clear? See what happens during wilting. Water escapes from the vacuole, target pressure decreases, the cytoplasm shrinks and the cell membrane pulls away from the cell wall. The cell loses its firmness and becomes soft. The plant becomes flaccid and limp. At this stage, the cell is plasmolized. That means whenever a deplasmolized cell is being converted into a plasmolized cell, the cytoplasm is reduced. That's why the cell become plasmolized cell. So resulting this plasmolized cell resulting in wilting. Wilting is drooping down of plants due to lack of water, isn't it? So students, these are the homework questions. You do it in your fair copy. So in this lecture we have studied about transportation in plants. One for xylem, one in phloem. What are the components of phloem? What are the components of xylem? We have studied. What are the functions we have studied? We have studied about translocation. We have studied about transport. Clear? We have studied about the factors. So entire transport in plants is over in this lecture. And next, thank you student. This was all about today's video lecture. Here I have discussed about transport in plants, how the water is being transmitted from soil to roots to different parts of the plant body. So stay at home, stay safe. I am Shomajit sir signing off for today, and again we'll meet in the next class. Thank you students.